Hey guys, the franchise code here, and welcome to episode number 12 of our Baltimore Orioles franchise. Pretty straightforward episode today. We are going to be playing what is the last regular season game that we're going to play. This game against the Astros in Houston. After that, we are going to check out. Well, first we'll simulate to the end of the season, and then we will check out our end of the season stats as well as the awards. And then we will leave all of the off-season stuff for the next video. But yeah, let's jump right into this. What is going to be our last game that we play this regular season. So just a quick look here at the starting lineups. We are making a quick change. Rather than Chris Davis, who has been struggling lately at the DH spot, we're going to give Adley Rutschman a chance and see what he can do for us. He is definitely a future staple of this lineup. But everything else in our lineup is the same. Lance McCullers Jr. gets the start for the Astros, his 31st. He is 9-11 with 4.42 ERA, pretty respectable. His whip is awfully high, though. We'll see what we can do against him in this game. On the ground, a second, and that is going to be a double play grounded into by Austin Hayes. So we do get a walk in the first, but end up going down 1-2-3. Headed to the bottom of the first here. AJ Puk makes the start for us, his 17th. He's 1-9, not a great record, but a 4.52 ERA is perfectly respectable for his rookie year. He's also striking out about a batter per inning, which is pretty good. We'll see what he has today. There's strike three looking. Good start to the game for AJ Puk as he strikes out Altuve for the first out. We're going to fly a ball, hit to shallow left field. That's going to drop in for a 2-out single there for Michael Brantley. First hit of the game for the Astros. Swing and a miss. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Puk. He works around a couple hits and throws a scoreless first. We're headed to the second. Swinging a fly ball, hit deep into left center field. Back is Springer. He's on the track, and that ball is going to one-hop off the wall. DJ Stewart will pull up into second base. He's got himself a double. His 35th of the year. Second on our team behind Santander. And we have our first hit of the game, a 2-out double here in the second. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout of the game for Puk. Good fastball inside there on Gurriel. 1 down in the second. Swing and a miss. Ties him in knots with the slider. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings for AJ Puk. He throws a 1-2-3 second. We're headed to the third. There's a ground ball. That's a base hit into left field. Second hit of the ball game. And Hanser Alberto's been on both times. 2 down here in the third, and we got a chance to maybe pick up a 2-out run. Ripped, but right into the glove of Gurriel. Ruiz scorched that baseball. But that'll be it for the third. A little bit of a pitcher's duel brewing here as we go to the bottom of the third. Got him looking on the outside corner. 5th strikeout for Puk as he struck out more than half of the Astros in his first time through the order. On the ground to third, Ruiz throws on to first. And AJ Puk with a 1-2-3 third. He's cruising through 3. We're headed to the fourth, hoping to get some runs for him. There's a line drive base hit into right field. Leadoff single here in the fourth for Austin Hayes. That's popped up. Got way under that ball with Cisco. And McCullers works out of it. He's thrown 4 scoreless innings here. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. Swing and a drive hit deep into left field. This ball is gone off the foul pole. Alex Bregman hits his 41st home run of the year. And just like that, the Astros take a 1-0 lead. Got into a 3-1 count against Bregman, left a fastball up, and he did not miss it. But it's only 1 run. Puk's still pitching fairly well. Gonna have to score to win, of course. So we're going to ground ball back to AJ Puk. He'll go to second for 1, on to first for 2. Great double play there. Puk works out of trouble in the fourth. Only gives up the 1 home run to Bregman. We need to score heading to the 5th. That's hammered into right field, and DJ Stewart has tied this game. Guy who's been our best hitter down the stretch by far, his 31st of the year, and he absolutely unloaded on a fastball. McCullers just left one up out over the plate, and Stewart did not miss, and we respond quickly with our own solo home run, and this is a 1-1 ball game. That ball's hit well into left center field. George Springer's going to have to play this one up off the wall. Setsudo Yamada gets himself on the board with a double. It's his 7th of the year. And we have our second extra base hit in 3 batters. Starting to hit McCullers a little better. There's a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. Hanser Alberto comes through with 2 outs. And he's got himself a 2-out RBI single. And just like that, the Orioles take a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 5th. Good job there by Hanser Alberto getting the job done with the 2-out RBI. There's a ground ball back to AJ Puck. He'll go to second for 1. Good turn from Yamada. Another double play registered by Puck. And he's pitching very well here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the Houston order coming up. Swinging a fly ball hit into right center field. That ball's hit pretty well. Austin Hayes drifts back, and he'll make the play just in front of the warning track. AJ Puck has given up only 1 run through 5. We're headed to the 6th. The Orioles have a 2-1 lead. Swinging a fly ball hit into right field. That ball's hit pretty well. Reddick will drift back and make the play. 1 down as Hayes hit that ball hard. There's a line drive hit to short. Correa playing the shift will make the catch. And a 1-2-3 top of the 6th worked by McCullers. Still in quite a pitcher's duel here as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there by AJ Puck. His 6th strikeout of the ball game, and there's 2 outs in the 6th. Swinging a line drive hit into center field. Ranging over is Austin Hayes. He'll make the catch. And we maintain our 2-1 lead as we head to the 7th. Hopefully we can get some insurance going for AJ Puck. He's pitched brilliantly through 6. There's a line drive base hit into right field. Renato Nunez gets a base hit. Good to see him actually on the board with a hit. He hasn't hit much in the games we've played recently. Does have an 8-game hitting streak though, so that's good to see. Swinging a little flare out in left field. That ball's going to drop. Adley Rutschman gets a really cheap base hit, but we'll take those, and it gives Hanser Alberto a chance with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Swinging a weak ground ball hit to the shortstop, Correa. He'll throw on to first, dug out by Gurriel. Bad swing there from Alberto. I got a little too aggressive. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th. We're going to bring AJ Puck back out, hoping to protect our 2-1 lead. Swing and a miss. Another big strikeout for Puck, his 7th. 1 down here in the 7th. Swinging a fly ball hit into right field, not too deep. Santander will settle under it. He makes the catch. And AJ Puck's night is done. He's given us 7 brilliant innings, gotten us to our 2 big pieces in the bullpen. Hopefully we can tack on a little insurance, as a 2-1 lead is still pretty fragile. There's a line drive. That ball's going to be in the gap in right center field. It's going to go all the way up to the wall. Springer will dig it out. Hayes is on his way to third, and he is going to be there sliding in safely with a 1-out triple. And just like that, we have an excellent chance to add on here in the 8th. Runner on third with less than 2 outs for Santander. Ground ball to second base, but we missed it. Altuve will throw on to first, and we miss an opportunity to tack on in the top of the 8th. Austin Hayes' triple goes to waste. We're going to the bottom of the 8th, still clinging to that 2-1 lead. AJ Puck's night is done. We're going to bring Paul Fry, who is our setup man, out of the bullpen. He has been excellent. 60 innings with a 3.28 ERA in 70 appearances. He does have 27 holds, looking for another one here. Check swing, and they're going to say Altuve went around. A perfect 8th inning for Paul Fry as he gets them 1-2-3. We maintain our 2-1 lead going to the 9th. Swinging a drive hit deep into left center field by Yamada. That ball's going to one-hop up against the wall. Setsudo Yamada is going to have his second double of the ball game. And we have a chance with 2 outs here in the 9th. That's his 8th on the year, I believe. There's a fly ball hit deep into right field, but it's going to be caught by Josh Reddick. Adley Rutschman hit that ball hard, but nothing to show for it. We are headed to the 9th, hoping to close it out. 2-1 lead for the Orioles. Hunter Harvey, our closer, he has 27 saves and 32 opportunities, sporting a 3.35 ERA, which is very good. He looks to pick up the save in this 2-1 game. Swinging a ground ball to third. Ruiz will throw on to first. And the Baltimore Orioles have a 2-1 victory here in Houston. Excellent pitching performance. Hunter Harvey goes 1-2-3 in the 9th for his 28th save. And A.J. Puck had an excellent game. DJ Stewart, of course, with a big home run. Hanser Alberto had the game-winning RBI single. Let's jump into the recap. So A.J. Puck gets player of the game. Only 5 hits and 1 run in 7 innings. Did strike out 7, no walks. In terms of hitters for us, we had 4 guys with 2 hits. DJ Stewart, of course, 2 extra base hits, had that solo home run. Setsudo Yamada had a very good game, a pair of doubles. Austin Hayes had a triple and a 2-for-4 game. And Hanser Alberto was on base 3 times. For the Astros, the only guy who really did anything was Alex Bregman with his solo home run off of A.J. Puck. All right, so we have simulated to the end of the regular season. As you can see, we ended at 68-95. Not a particularly good record by any stretch of the imagination, though pretty realistic to what I think this real Orioles team would have been had they played a full season in 2020. We're going to take a look at the stats for the season for our major league guys. We're not going to look at the minor league stats because they are gone and they're not as important. But we will look at our major league guys and their statistics. Then we'll simulate past the postseason, see who won the World Series, and we'll show you the awards. And that'll be it for this particular episode, but let's dive into the stats. So on the pitching side, John Means, our ace, he ended the year at 6-14. Not a good record, but his ERA was respectable at 4.16. Not too bad. We'll see where he ends up at the end of the season. Definitely a guy who I want to be in our rotation for the foreseeable future. A.J. Puck, 2-11. That 4.37 ERA is not too bad, though. He's very young, still getting better. We will see how he progresses. Again, a guy who definitely factors into the future. Jorge Lopez, 11-8 with a 3.65 ERA. Again, he was added into the starting rotation. He was a long reliever for a while. But that's a very good season. He is only 27, does have some potential. We'll see what he gets to, but he's definitely earned himself at least a spot in our bullpen next season. Grayson Rodriguez was very bad in his time up in the big leagues, but that's okay. He was just getting a cup of coffee up in the big leagues anyways. He's only 20 years old. He will get better. So those statistics don't really reflect as good as he will be. And Keegan Aiken was okay. Nothing special, though. 6-9 with an ERA hovering around 5. He's a guy who probably doesn't feature into the future of this team, just with the amount of talent we have coming up on the pitching side. But yeah, we have some work to do on our starting rotation, but the pieces are there for the future. And the bullpen, Brady Rogers didn't have a great year. Again, a guy who probably almost definitely doesn't factor into the future of this team. Tanner Scott, his potential is going up, which is good to see. He did not have a great season, but he's up to a 69 overall. Morale is the same, so he is actually a true 69 overall, which is good to see. He will continue to progress. He's only 25. Did not have a great season, though, but a future piece, I believe, just with his velocity and stuff that he presents out of the bullpen as a lefty. Sean Armstrong had a very good year. A guy who I didn't think factored into our future, probably still doesn't, but he did have a very good year out in the bullpen with a sub-4 ERA. Danny Barnes, not a great year. ERA about 5.5. Not particularly great. Again, doesn't really factor into our future. Neither does Alexander Guillen with that 5.92 ERA. He did pitch a lot of innings, decent record, but certainly not a guy who is anything special or will feature into our future. However, the bottom two guys will. Paul Fry had an excellent season. Pitched 63 innings, 3.41 ERA with a 1.23 whip. He was very good out of the bullpen. He's only 27, continuing to get better, which is good to see. He's a guy who really limits home runs, and definitely a guy who I want. Probably won't be a setup man, but definitely a guy who I want to keep around in the bullpen for the future. And I think we've found our closer of the future in Hunter Harvey. He's up to a 73 overall, will continue to get better. He had an excellent season this year. Morale is playing him up a little bit. However, his stats are getting significantly better. He has high potential. So certainly he's earned himself at least another crack at the closer's role for next season. That 3.22 ERA with the 1.15 whip is very good to see from him. Let's jump into the hitters. So on the hitting side, we have, first of all, Hanser Alberto. Really tailed off there at the end of the year. 264 is certainly not bad, but you'd like to see a little bit more from him. As you can see, he is actually going down significantly in his overall, which is something I don't like to see. However, you never know. He's a guy who he is actually up for contract this year. So we'll have to really look into him and see what it's worth to bring him back. He's 27. He was a good hitter, but we have to see what makes sense for him in the upcoming season. Rio Ruiz ended up having a very good year. 280, 25 homers, 62 RBIs. He is getting significantly better. He's only 25. His power did go down a little bit against lefties, but basically everything else is going up, which is good to see. He's at the 77. Morale's not really changing that. He's definitely a guy who I want to see what we have from him. It may not be at third base, though, because we do have Joey Alderson, remember, moving up. But we'll take a look at Rio. I believe he's due for a contract. He will definitely get one. And we'll see how he progresses. Austin Hayes, who we signed to a big-time deal in the last episode. He is our center fielder of the future. His overall is going up. His hitting stats went going down a little bit, specifically against left-handed pitching. You don't love to see that, but he's only 24. Still has high potential. He will get significantly better. And he, to me, is our center fielder of the future, at least for a little while. But good to see him progressing. He had a pretty solid year with that 269 average, 21 homers, and 57 RBIs. Anthony Santander really cooled off at the end of the year. He was one of the best hitters in the league at the beginning. Still a very respectable 279 with 25 homers and 72 runs batted in. He is getting significantly better. 25 years old. His potential is going up. And he's up to a 79 overall. Morale is boosting that a little bit. But definitely a guy I want to keep around. He is under contract. We extended him for those 3 years for $1 million a year. So he is definitely a guy who will see some playing time. I assume he'll be a starter come next year. Again, we'll figure this all out in the offseason. Chance Cisco hit 280 with 25 homers and 65 RBIs. Let's see what he's at. He is a 73. Morale's playing him up to a 75. But look at how much of an improvement he made. Specifically, +9 power against both sides. He's a really good hitter, and it's going to be hard to ignore him. We have a problem, which is a good problem, but we have two very good young catchers who we're going to have to figure out how to play both of them. But Cisco had a great year. Good to see from him. DJ Stewart had an unbelievable year. 291, 33 homers, 89 runs batted in. He is only a 75 overall, and we will have to... He is playing way up for morale as well. He's only a 71 true overall. But those hitting stats are really good, and he was a great hitter. He's not a great defender by any means with that 52 fielding, but he might just be a guy who we have to stick in there, maybe as a DH. I'm not really sure, but he's hit in a way that makes me think about him as a future part of this team. Renato Nunez is up to an 80 overall. He had a pretty disappointing year in terms of batting average, only 226. Did hit 29 home runs, though, which is good to see. His power is going up significantly, as expected. He is 25, already up to an 80 overall. He's another guy who is going to be up for contract this year. He's playing even with morale, so he's a true 80 overall. He's a really good power hitter. Another guy who I'm certainly going to re-sign, and we'll see what the future holds for him. And yeah, I will have to see with him. I'm not really sure, but he had a relatively disappointing year. Setsudo Yamada, 192 isn't going to cut it, and he did end up getting 200 at bats. His stats are going down. His overall is going down. We signed him. He's playing significantly up from morale to he's a true overall of 73. He was only under contract for this year. I think we might have to let him go. Maybe sign him as minor league depth to see if anything comes, because he's only 26. With that be potential. But he really wasn't very good in the short time he got with us. Chris Davis is, I hope, gone. No, I still owe Chris Davis $23 million for the next 2 years, which is obnoxious, considering he's just bad at this point. I tried to get some use out of him this year. Didn't really happen much. He's a guy who we may straight up release or try to get rid of from the team. Just not a good player anymore. He was great for some years with the Orioles, but he is a 60 overall and going down. On the bench, Ryan Mountcastle had an okay year at 224, 16 homers, 48 runs batted in. Really not a great year, but he's young. He's another guy who his attributes are getting better. His overall is going up. He may be back in the minor leagues, though, next year, if I'm being honest. 67, so he's playing true to his overall. So, yeah, he's a guy who, again, take a look at, see what we have to do with him. But he feels like maybe a minor league option next year, especially if his overall doesn't jump much. Brian Holiday's a backup catcher. Stevie Wilkerson, just a random guy who we throw in different spots. He can play basically every position, which is nice to have. Pat Vallejo was very good. He's only 26. He was a very good hitter off the bench for us. A guy who maybe we look at signing for some depth. But with that 68 overall, probably not going to crack any sort of starting role. But he was a good bench bat, and we'll definitely take that into account heading into the future. So let's go ahead and simulate these playoffs and show you what happened. So as you can see, the Boston Red Sox, my favorite team, defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in what was a rematch of the 2018 World Series. And obviously in this reality, the Dodgers have now lost the World Series. What would this be? This would be 3 out of the last 4 years they have lost in the World Series, and twice to the same team. So got to be demoralizing for the Dodgers, even though in real life they finally got their World Series. But yeah, the Red Sox win the World Series, a divisional opponent, of course. And let's jump in and look at the awards. All right, so we're just going to look at the American League awards. I'm not going to bother with the National League. JD Martinez wins American League MVP as a member of the Red Sox. 301 with 50 homers and 142 runs batted in. That's a pretty incredible season. Though Anthony Rendon was pretty close behind him, hitting 350 with his defense. Don't know about that, but the game makes weird MVP choices. So JD Martinez wins MVP. Oh, whoops, I went to the wrong league. Paul Goldschmidt wins NL MVP. American League Cy Young is Garrett Cole, 18-6 with a 2.65 ERA. Certainly looks like he deserved that. Dylan Bundy at 3. That's interesting. How good is he in this? He's an 85 overall. That's interesting. Former Baltimore Oriole right there. But yeah, Garrett Cole looks like he deserved that Cy Young. Batting title goes to Anthony Rendon. No surprise when you look at the season he had. Reliever of the year goes to Nick Whitgren. Wow. 1.82 ERA out of the bullpen for the Cleveland Indians. That's very impressive. Rookie of the year goes to Luis Robert. No real surprise there. Tsutsugo, who is the Rays. He was just signed out of Japan for the Rays. And Joe Adele close behind there. No Orioles yet in the awards. The Hank Aaron Award to Anthony Rendon. No surprise there. Gold Glove pitchers. That's where we get our first award. Jorge Lopez wins the Gold Glove at pitching, which with 56 fielding, maybe not totally deserved, but we'll take it. So good to see him getting a Gold Glove there. at catching, Chance Sisco. Chance Sisco with his 58 fielding wins the Gold Glove for catchers. That's very good to see, and hopefully that helps move his overall up. First base, Luke Voigt wins the Gold Glove. Second base, Hanser Alberto wins the Gold Glove. That makes more sense with his 76 fielding. Going to be hard to let him go, but I'm starting to think maybe we have to do that. Third base, Jose Ramirez makes total sense. Shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. That one doesn't make much sense, even though I love the Red Sox. Xander Bogaerts is not a great fielder. Left field, Alex Gordon. Interesting. He has won 3 in a row, obviously. Center field, Kevin Kiermaier makes complete sense there. And in right field, Aaron Judge makes a lot of sense there. In terms of the Silver Sluggers, we'll just go through these, see if we want any. I doubt it. But JD Martinez at DH. Mitch Garver wins it for catcher. Chance Sisco was in there at third. First base, Matt Olson. Second base, Harold Castro. Interesting. Tigers. Third base, Rendon, of course. Shortstop, Lindor. Outfielders, we have Trout, we have Stanton, and we have Verdugo. Postseason MVP, so this is the, I know it's weird in this game, but this is the ALCS MVP. It goes to Xander Bogaerts, who obviously had a very good playoffs there. And World Series MVP goes to Yairo Munoz. He's up to an 81 overall. All right, never mind. It's not bad. But anyway, yeah, he gets the World Series MVP. And that should do it for the awards. So yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next video. It's going to be episode number 13, where we're going to tackle the offseason. Should be a lot of fun getting this team ready for year number 2. So again, thank you for watching, and take care.